यस मैम, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
Okay. Is everyone came? Or shall I start the session?
यस मैम।
Okay. That's cool. Thank you, sir. So, once again, good morning, everyone. Hope you all are fine. So, let's, yeah. In the last lecture, we just started the second chapter, that is sexual reproduction in the flowering plant, and we completed till pollination, right? So in this lecture, before going ahead, I just want to stop you at one place. Like I come up with one thing, that first chapter not even started, and it's a very easy chapter. Still, I think there are some of few of the terminologies which you guys should understood. So it's very easy chapter. So I'll just, in the sense of revising, I'll cover the topics that are there in first chapter, because if we see through the neat perspective, then definitely a good weightage also carries from this. So let's start with our first chapter. Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Fine. If you had gone through the first chapter, it's very easy, and the name of chapter is reproduction. Is my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So in reproduction chapter, what basically is, there are some terminologies like lifespan, like syngamy, like zygote. I already explained you in the previous lecture about the term reproduction. Whatever the important things are there included in reproduction, I already cleared you. Still, this is the chapter where we have to go through that topic in deep. Okay, so I added all those points which are very important for you guys through neat perspective as well. So you have to remember all these things, what. Okay. As I told you in the previous lecture about the term reproduction, and you guys answered me very well. So it is nothing but it's a biological process in which organism give rise to young ones similar to itself, right? So what exactly happen in this, when male and the female, like parents gamete fuses, and they give rise to daughter cells or new offspring. So what exactly happens in that offspring eventually, what does it do? It grows, it matures. Okay, what happens? It grows, and after the age of 10, around 10, after that, it goes into the stage called puberty or adolescence, which you studied in class 9. So after adolescence, that time the offspring get matures, and now that once it, if I'm talking about female, once it attend the menstruation, now it is called to be matured. So that's what happened. Once it mature, after that he or she would also be able to produce new offsprings. This is just a lifespan. Lifespan means like a birth of offspring, then it grows, it matures and die. It is the lifespan. Everyone knows that everyone has to go one day, right? So this is what called lifespan. The next thing is, here is one important point written over here, like reproduction enables the continuity of species generation after generation. Exactly, that's true enough, because what happens, reproduction हो रहा है. So what happens, like parents form offspring, yeah, parents from daughter cells, daughters. Okay, so offspring in turn, once they attain the maturity, they are going to give rise to offspring. So it continues the species. It's from generation to generation. Okay, so let's move to next topic. Okay, so we studied that day about the reproduction topic. Also this term reproduction is differentiated or divided into two parts. One is the asexual, other is the sexual. Asexual may already you guys told me that it is something involvement of a single parent. Okay, and in this it is formed either or without involvement of gamete formation. Okay, so we will learn if I am talking about asexual, it is further divided into other different terms. We will discuss about that also. So here the other term that we said regards to reproduction is the sexual reproduction. What exactly happens in sexual reproduction? In this, two parents are required. Okay, two parents are required and that of opposite sexes. Okay, and these two parents will give their gametes, that is sex gametes, and the fusion of those two gametes take place. Now here the fusion of gamete can be take place inside the body, obviously in the female body, or outside the female body. Okay, we will see what it called to be in our comment topic. Okay, so it is nothing but the sexual reproduction. Now here comes one term called clone. So if you remember the word named dolly ships, in 10th chapter you came across with the dolly. Here what happens, शिप से सिमिलर टू इटसेल्फ हमने एक शिप बनाई थी जिसका हम लोगों ने नाम रखा था डॉली. सो इट्स नथिंग बट द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ क्लोन. Clone is what? In clone, what exactly happens is the offspring produced, it is totally similar to their parents. Now how totally similar to their parents? Like if one offspring is produced, if one ship is there, if I want to form exactly similar to that ship, so whatever the genes, whatever genes for the eyes, genes for the nose, different genes in that ship, I'll take it from that ship and I'll fertilize, I'll fuse them. After fusion, I'll create the new ship that is totally morphologically and genetically similar to the previous ship. And that process is called as clone or the cloning. That individual is called as clone and the process is called as the cloning. Understood? Okay. The next is here. Now we understood what a sexual reproduction is, what sexual reproduction. Now slowly we'll go little deep into the asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, we across to other terminologies like binary fission, budding, vegetative propagation, then sporulations, etc. So if I'm talking about the first term, that is budding, what exactly happens in budding, that will be comfortably you guys come to know by this diagram. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool, thank you. So in budding, what exactly happened? See, yeast is the example of budding. So suppose there is a parent body of yeast. Okay, so what happens, like it try to form nodules or the notches out of that parent body, and slowly that parent the notches that comes out of that body, that start growing. And growing here means everything. If I'm talking about the cytoplasm, if I'm talking about the genetic material, if I'm talking about the nucleus, everything start growing. And if you are able to see, then as in this second diagram, we are observing that this cytoplasm also spread over this area. Also this nucleus is just divided. divided into two daughter nuclei. So this one nucleus is here and the other one is here. Okay. So what exactly after once they grow, once they attain the maturity, means what? Matlab, this is the time when they are ready to detach from the parent body and can sustain individual life. That is what happened here. So what happened is bud now becomes and separate the daughter cell. Eventually what happens is that the next cell, again when they attain the maturity, that cell also perform the same process. Like in this, you observe multiple buds arising from the parent body. So once they attain maturity, they detach from the parent body, and all the daughter cells attain or live as an individual. Understood? Okay. The next thing is binary fission. Binary fission may, what happens is binary fission may, you'll see the example of the amoeba. So amoeba, paramecium, antamoeba, all these are the examples of binary fission. And binary fission is one of the subtopic of asexual reproduction. Basically what happens in NEET exam, like they are not going to ask you the examples out of the book, means out of the NCERT. So remembering the examples given in NCERT is the must. Okay. And if you come across with the examples apart from that, then you just go through that example once. So whatever the examples I'm taking, it is strictly from the NCERT. Okay. So binary fission in amoeba, in that also, see, binary fission in amoeba and amoeba paramecium is the same. So what exactly happens in that? There is one, like here also they have shown the parent body, like this is the parent amoeba, it has its nucleus, and it is a fully grown amoeba. So what exactly happens once it start dividing, it goes on dividing. What happens? So cytoplasm divides, then the nucleus divides, and one stage come when the nucleus totally divides it into two nuclei. And slowly if you are able to see the third C diagram, then that you see the nucleus divided into two part very fully. Okay. So next thing, what happens now? It has see, nucleus means genetic material, obviously divided. Now we have to divide that cell into two parts, so that now that cell, so that we can call that cell as the daughter cells. So after division of the nucleus, guys, what we called as a term called division of nucleus? Anyone? Anyone? Division of,
Karyokinesis.
pardon please. Yes, you are right, but I didn't listen you. Please repeat it again. Anyone? Anyone? What we called division of cytoplasm, division of nucleus.
Karyokinesis.
Karyokinesis. Exactly. Very good. Is it Atharv? Is it Atharv?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, Atharv. It's called, see, division of nucleus is called karyokinesis. And what we called the division of cytoplasm?
Cytokinesis.
Exactly, very good. So here what happens in this C diagram, we observe that there is division of nucleus. So I called it as a karyokinesis. Now, if we see there is a division of, in the diagram D, we observe there is a division of cytoplasm. So I'll call it as a cytokinesis. And once this cytoplasm divide, so slowly both the cells now form their own outer covering. Okay, and now in the E diagram you are able to see that two daughter cells are formed. This is what happened in binary fission. Understood? Okay. Now, like we are talking about asexual reproduction, so in that we'll be talking about a unicelled organism. If I'm talking about a unicelled organism, so specifically I'll be talking about bacteria, I'll be talking about protista. So these are some terms. Like see, अगर आपको 12th में ये चैप्टर आया है, means you are familiar with the, see it is very easy. Why it is easy? Because ये जो terms है, ये सारे terms हम लोगों ने 11th या 10th क्लास में पढ़े हुए हैं. सो इसको रिवाइज करने में ज्यादा समय नहीं लगता है. सो क्विकली हम लोग रिवाइज करेंगे और आप लोगों को रिस्पॉन्ड करना है मुझे. सो गाइस, हम लोगों ने 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन पढ़ा है. सो 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन में 2 किंगडम्स आर मोनेरा एंड प्रोटिस्टा. इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट मोनेराज, सो इसमें हम लोग बेसिकली बात करेंगे यूनिसेल्ड ऑर्गेनिज्म. सो बैक्टीरिया, तो उनमें क्या होता है, बैक्टीरिया में बात किया जाए तो उनमें भी माइटोसिस से डिवीजन होता है पेरेंट सेल का, and ultimately as in the form of product it gives rise to new individual. So here what is the mode of reproduction? Asexual, definitely. But what happens that gives rise to new organism? That is cell division. Okay, and we already discussed about the binary fission, so you have to only remember the examples of it, that is amoeba and the paramecium. Okay, here one term is written over is incitation. What insistation? What insistation is that? If I'm talking about amoeba, if I'm talking about binary fission, so in that what happens is that after the cytokinesis, in case these are the favorable condition in which the parent amoeba is converted into the daughter cells. Okay, but under unfavorable condition, when predator, yeah, in any insect if come, so what happens to engulf that insect in the form of food or any material that provide energy to that amoeba. So what exactly it do, like slowly here I'll show you, I'll explain you here only what insistation means. Suppose this is my parent. If I see this first diagram, in this parent amoeba is there. So if there comes one insect or any other food material, so if the parent amoeba want to take that food material, so what he do is that he slowly increase its the side covering of the amoeba, and slowly try to surround that insect so that it will not leave any space to that insect to go out of the boundary of the amoeba. And slowly once it closes now, so that closed area is called incist. Okay, and this process is called incestation. And in that incestation, slowly what happens, the inner covering that is used to surround that insect now going to be decomposed, and that insect is taken by the amoeba in the form of food material. Okay, that is called the incestation. Okay, it forms a cyst around that thing. Okay, here one thing is that also if we see the third kingdom, plant kingdom, that is fungi or the fourth, that is algae. So they have also some asexual reproductive structures known as zoospores. Okay, in some if we see, in some there are conidias, in some there are buds, in some there are gemmules. So here is diagram as well. Wait. I'll explain you all that also. We talked about binary fission. We talked about budding, right? And here one, it is not included, that also I want to mention, is the regeneration. What is the example of regeneration? We observe regeneration in hydra, we observe regeneration in lizard as well, and currently our scientists are also working on this term regeneration to be implement in the human body. What is regeneration? Anybody? Anyone? What is regeneration? We observe regeneration in hydra. Anyone?
It's a type of
Which type? It's a type of asexual reproduction.
When an body of organism is cut and it reproduces into a new organism.
Very good, Anjali. Very nicely said. Regeneration means, have you ever, obviously you, everybody has lizards in their houses. Okay, maybe out of the houses, or you might see it somewhere. Okay, so what happened? Just take example of lizard. When we try to catch that lizard, if you had observed that lizard cut its tail, right? So what happens, that lizard has a regeneration capability in its tail. Once it cuts its tail, that tail can be regenerated. So what exactly means? Regeneration is a type of asexual reproduction in which a part of the parent organism can give rise to a new individual. This is called regeneration. And the regeneration, example of regeneration is hydra. One more example is vegetative reproduction. We all have seen vegetative reproduction in plants. In that, vegetative reproduction means part of a plant can be used to give rise to a new offspring. That part can be a stem, that can be the leaves, that can be the root, part of the root, many more. So that part and that structure is called vegetative propagules. Okay. In this chapter, there is one term, terror of Bengal. There is one aquatic plant named water hyacinth. Okay, so in this thing, that water hyacinth is also called terror of Bengal. Why it is called terror of Bengal? So it has a story behind this. Once upon a time, that water hyacinth brought to India, but just because of its beautiful flowers. And after bringing it to India, it is observed that it grows invasively, and it grows so invasively that it spread throughout the water. And what it does is it spread totally to on the upper layer of the water. I'm talking about the water bodies. This grow on the water bodies. Okay, so it spread so so frequently on the water bodies that it does not allow the exchange of oxygen between the air and the water. So ultimately what happens? Ultimately it affects to the aquatic bodies. It affects to the fishes living in the water. They need oxygen, but oxygen is not available to them because of this water hyacinth. That's why it is called terror of Bengal. And this happens in Bengal. It brings to India first time in Bengal. That's why it is called the terror of Bengal. Understood? Next, talked about algae and fungi, the reproductive parts, reproductive things. The main reproductive things are like zoospore, conidia, sporules, spores, sponges, gemmules. So here, if you are able to see this 4 diagram, so first diagram is of Chlamydomonas. And Chlamydomonas, these are the zoospores. This is the parent Chlamydomonas in which many of the zoospores are there, and once they attain the maturity, this parent Chlamydomonas burst and they releases the daughter Chlamydomonas. Right? Next thing is penicillium, first antibiotic discovered by the Alexander Fleming. If we see, this is the structure of the penicillium, and labeling, I hope this labeling is very much clear to everyone. So this, the bottom part is the conidiophore. Okay. The next, these structures arising above the conidiophore are called the rami. Above rami, the sub parts of the rami is called the medulla. And above that is called the felids, and the topmost is the conidia, and these are the reproductive part. They detach from the parent body and each give rise to a new penicillium. Next diagram, that is the budding in the hydra. In hydra, both things can be seen. Hydra is example of budding, and planaria. Planaria is a type of a insect. It's a type of an insect. So planaria may we observe regeneration thing. Okay. Also in earthworm also has a property of regeneration. So hydra may first parent hydra, if you are able to see, it has buds, and this bud give rise to new daughter hydra. The next is the last part is the gemmules in the sponges. Sponges is an example of Porifera, first phylum of the Animalia. Okay, animal की first जो division, animal के division में जो first है, that is the Porifera. So Porifera का example है gemmules. So in gemmules में what happens, inside its inside to it there are many small cells. So they like millions or thousands of cells, thousands and millions of cells are there, and they burst up and give rise to new sponges. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear? Akansha, Anjali, Atharv.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now here are examples of the vegetative propagation. We discussed about the term vegetative propagation. So in vegetative propagation, we observe different vegetative propagales. Different vegetative propagales means the part from which new individual can be grown, can be formed. So here first is the tuber and potato. So अगर आप लोगों ने भी घर में देखा होगा, जब पोटैटो होता है उसको 2-3 मतलब like 1 week 2 weeks के लिए रखे तो slowly green part arises from that old potato. देखा है सबने, white part आता है फिर वो slowly green होने लगता है. आप सब लोगों ने देखा होगा वो चीज. सो वो क्या होता है कि अगर मैं उसको काट के बाहर मिट्टी में गाड़ दूंगी तो इट विल गिव राइज टू मी न्यू पोटैटो. ठीक है. The next thing is rhizomes in ginger. Ginger means अदरक. आप लोग डायग्राम देख रहे होंगे, जो बी डायग्राम है उसमें बर्ड्स है, बर्ड्स की लेबलिंग की हुई है, नोट्स की लेबलिंग की है. तो बर्ड्स जनरली अराइज होते हैं नोट से. ठीक है. एंड फिर नोट से फिर बर्ड्स अराइज होंगे, बर्ड्स से फिर न्यू प्लांट को a new plant formed हो जाता है. Okay, here is one C diagram. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. तो जो ये बुलबुल एंड अगाव है, ये आप लोगों ने देखा होगा. इट्स अ शो प्लांट. So show plant say, if you are able to see, some green parts arises from the bottom of it. I'm not talking about the big one part of the green. I'm talking about the green part that is present on the tip of the plant. So if I cut that part and sow it in the soil, so it will give rise to a new agave plant. Then the D diagram is of leaf of bryophyllum. So leaf of bryophyllum means if we observe a leaf, there is one plant of which this is a leaf, and that plant is called a bryophyllum. In that, if you're able to see the border of the leaf, on there new plant arises. So it happens. So in that, what happens if I cut that part from where the new plant arises and sow that into the soil, then I'll observe that that part of the leaf give me the new plant. The next is the offset of water hyacinth. As we discussed about the terror of Bengal, this is nothing but the terror of Bengal. What happens is that its stem, it is the stem, the offset that is labeled is nothing but the stem that starts from one plant to the next plant to the next plant. So it grows from the stem only. Okay. So let's move to the next part. Sexual reproduction, I told you it's the involvement of the formation of male and female gamete. Sexes should be opposite, and after gamete fusion, it will result in the formation of zygote, and zygote in turn will form the new organism. So here one new term comes as a juvenile phase. What juvenile phase means? The phase or the stage of life, or if I'm talking about more specifically, if I'm talking, then the stage of growth or maturity before the reproduction, that thing is called the juvenile phase. Means like before one attend the maturity, once is able to reproduce sexually. The period before that is called the juvenile phase. In your exams also this definition asked. Okay, अगर मैं बात करूँ plants की, if I'm talking about plants, in that the plants में it is known as vegetative phase. Okay, here one example is given, that is Strobilanthes kunthiana. In Indian language it is called Nilkurinji. It flowers once in 12 years, and last time it flowers in 2016. If we calculate, then we'll see that after 12 years means it had grown in 2018. Now after 6 years means 2024 again it will grow. This is a flower that grows, that develops, that comes after 12 years. Can anybody tell me about the bamboo? I heard about bamboo also. Bamboo flowers once in its lifetime. It is already given. So you might be known about this earlier, previously, that this bamboo species flower inflorescence observed only once in its lifetime, and its lifespan is 50 to 100 years. What exactly happens in that? It produces a large number of fruits and die. Okay. Then if we see the location or the areas where this Strobilanthes kunthiana grows, then it is specifically observed in the hilly areas like Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. The means the hilly areas present in the Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Here only will observe this Strobilanthes kunthiana that grows once in 12 years. So once see animal में बात की जाए तो after juvenile phase morphological or physiological changes are observed. Okay. Now, if I talk about estrus cycle means the changes or the different things takes place during reproduction is called the estrus cycle. So if I'm talking about cow, sheep, rat, deer, dog, these are the example of estrus cycle, and they are also the example of non-primates. Also, there is one term primates. Primates means example is given as like monkey, apes, human. In primates, we observe menstrual cycle. See, non-primates or primates, there is a great difference in them. If I'm talking about the changes took place during reproduction, in case of non-primate, then it is called the estrus cycle. If I'm talking about the changes take place in primate, then it is called the menstrual cycle. Okay. Then there are two types of breeders: seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Seasonal breeders means those who undergo reproduction here, who reproduce occasionally or seasonally, that is called the seasonal breeder. If I'm talking about the continuous breeders, means they reproduce continuously throughout their reproductive phase, and so called as the continuous breeders. Then also in the last previous lecture, I mentioned about the phases or the stages of fertilization. First of all, before that, you already know that fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization, that result in the form of zygote. Formation of zygote followed by embryogenesis. Also, there is one term called fertilization and syngamy. Both are the same. Syngamy means the same and fertilization means the same. Fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete. Similarly, syngamy means the same. Next, there are three different stages in sexual reproduction, like pre-fertilization, fertilization, and the post-fertilization. What does mean by pre-fertilization? Grow, mature, and attain maturity. That is called the pre-fertilization. Fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization, resulting formation of zygote in fertilization. What is post-fertilization? Post-fertilization means embryogenesis, and the other thing means what? Embryogenesis, and after ultimately give rise to the new young ones. Okay. So pre-fertilization may we discuss about the two things, that is the gametogenesis and the gamete transfer. What is gametogenesis? I told you that the terminology, specifically in biology, terminology itself defines the definition. What means the gametogenesis? You guys only tell me.
It is
Gamete
the process of formation of two types of gametes.
right.
Genesis means formation.
Exactly.
And gameto means gametes.
Right. So gametogenesis means gamete plus genesis. Gamete means we know two gametes, that is male gamete and female gamete. Genesis matlab formation. So in first thing, that is the gametogenesis, there will be the formation of gametes, two types of gamete, male and female gamete. If I am talking about the male gamete, then it is called as anthrozoite or the sperm. If I'm talking about the female gamete, then it is called as the egg or the ova. Okay? Then there is the gamete transfer. Once my gamete is formed, so now this gamete, what is the work of this gamete? It has to reach its destination. And what is its destination? Its destination will be the place where it meets to the ovum or the egg, so that they can fertilize, they can fuse and give the product as a zygote. So ultimately happens is this only. So this is nothing but the pre-fertilization. Here, if I'm talking gametes, guys, आप लोगों को ploidity. What is ploidity? Ploidity means whether that a gamete is a haploid or diploid. What is its fate of chromosome? Fate of chromosome, whether it is 2n or n. If I'm talking about n means haploid. If I'm talking about 2n, it means diploid. So what is the ploidity of the gametes? आपको ये याद रखना है, because in future you are specifically the chapter that we had gone, that we are studying now is the sexual reproduction. So that in that chapter you'll be asked question like what is the ploidity of microsporangia, what is the ploidity of megasporangia. These are nothing but the gametes only, na? So here only you should know the ploidity of the gametes. If I'm talking about the gametes, means generally they are haploid in cells. They are haploid cells. Ploidity is haploid. Now, if I'm talking about the algae or the gametes, so agar algae की बात करेंगे, so it will have the two gametes, and the two gametes will be similar. If they are similar in appearance, then I'll call it as a homogamete or the isogamete. Here, homo means same and iso means same. So that is called as the isogamete or homogamete. Agar if I'm talking about the human may two gametes, male and female gametes, both are different in sexes, opposite in sexes. So that time I'll call these are the distant gametes. So they are called heterogamete. Okay, hetero means different, and gametes mean gametes. Okay. Okay. ये वो जो example है ना, that I am presenting you right now, these are the examples of the book which you should know, because in NEET they may give you the example and label leaving the space, and they may put a question like what is this. So you should know what is the labeled thing. So the first diagram labeled as A, it is the example of bisexual animal. Bisexual animal means both the male and female gamete present within the same animal. That is the example meaning of bisexual. So bisexual animal का example यहाँ earthworm दिया है, and the labeled is called the Silentium. Silentium का मतलब होता है these are the different fragments of the earthworm. और आपको पता है ना earthworm की regeneration की property होती है, ध्यान में रखना है. नेक्स्ट आता है यूनिसेक्सुअल एनिमल. यूनिसेक्सुअल एनिमल मतलब यहाँ पे एग्जांपल इन्होंने कॉकरोच का दिया हुआ है. यूनिसेक्सुअल का मतलब मेल एंड फीमेल पार्ट जो होंगे दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द डिफरेंट कॉकरोचेस. आप लोगों ने 11th में कॉकरोचेस के बारे में पढ़ा है? आई नीड रिस्पॉन्सेज, से यस और नो.
I think deleted.
Sorry, not clear to me. Speak loud. Akansha. Did you read about cockroach in 11th? Anyone? Anjali, Atharv, Megha, Neha, Pratiksha, Priti, Sonali.
मैम डिलीटेड था शायद.
Sorry? Achha, it was deleted. Okay, fine. So I think cockroaches are there in 11th syllabus. They deleted earthworm and frog. They deleted those two things. Cockroaches is there, and it is there in syllabus as well. So in cockroaches, you can very comfortably distinct male and female cockroach. So why, if I'm talking about this diagram only, so male and female cockroaches are different. So here I'm talking about a unisexual animal, so that is the cockroach. It means here two different cockroaches are there respectively for male and female gametes. The next thing is, here you can, if you are able to see the screen, then first this is the structure of the male. This is the structure of the male reproductive part. Okay, here this is the place where the testes are produced and stored. Once it has when they are meeting, so when they are meeting, that time this the sperms come from this testis, come to this area, and from this areas it comes out of its body and goes into the female body. And if I'm talking about the female, so in female cockroach, this is the ovaries where the ova produces. Okay. The next diagram, that is the C1, is the monoecious plant chara. Some says kara, some says chara. So it varies in pronunciation. So in chara, it is monoecious. So both male and female sex organs present in the same plant. So the male female part is called the oogonium. It's a singular. If I'm talking about the plural, it's called oogonia. And this is the antheridium. This is the male sex organ. Similarly, if I'm talking about the dioecious plant, that is the Markentia. So in Markentia, this is the female thallus and this is the male thallus. So female thallus is called the Archegoniophore and the male is called the Anthridiophore. The next is the bisexual flower. In bisexual flower, both the male and female part present within the same plant. And this is the flower of the sweet potato. This is the female part that is called the carpel, and this male part is called the stamen. Now, like here, two terms are written like bisexual and unisexual. Bisexual both means both the male and female reproductive structure present in the same cell. Unisexual means either of one present in the plant. Okay. If I'm talking about the fungi, sometime now, instead of using bisexual, instead of using monoecious, now they use the term homothelic. And that time we found ourselves into confusion state that what homothelic means, and these are the terms which are included in the NCERT and we just skip it. So homothelic means nothing but the monoecious or the bisexual condition in which both male and female reproductive organ present in the same plant or same division. And the next thing is the dioecious or heterothelic. Dioecious matlab either of the part present in the plant body. The next thing is if it contains the male part, then it is called the staminate. If it contains the female part, then it is called the pistillate. Also, I told you that if male and female flower may be present on the same individual, then it is called the monoecious condition. If it is present on the separate individual, then it is called the dioecious condition. And guys, to be more clear and to be more precise about these examples, you should keep mind in your mind that examples of monoecious plant and the dioecious plant. Monoecious means both male and female part in the same plant. So its example is cucurbit and the coconut. Then cucurbit means the kakadi dekhi hogi aap logon ne, cucumber. It's a cucurbit, biological term is a cucurbit. So next is the dioecious, means either one part present in the same plant. So in this what if you have seen that papaya For papaya, both male and female trees are different. Also date palm. Date palm means khajur. Okay. Gametes can be gametes can be haploid and diploid, but as we have seen, the ploidity of gametes are haploid. So haploid pairing produces gametes by mitotic division. Mitotic matlab mitosis, meiotic matlab meiosis. Now, in diploid organism, I'm talking about the diploid organism. They have some specialized cells इनको हम myocytes बोलते हैं. Myocytes is nothing but the gamet mother cell. जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे second chapter में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था pollen mother cell. Pollen mother cell is nothing but the myocyte. Okay. So at the end of the meiosis, what happens? Ki one set of chromosome is incorporated into one gamete. Now the next thing, fertilization. I already told what is fertilization. Fusion of gametes is called fertilization. और product क्या होता है? zygote. अच्छा, मुझे एक बात बताओ, gametes जो हो रहा है fusion किस किस का हो रहा है? Male and female gametes का हो रहा है. So अगर male and female gametes का हो रहा है, दोनों की ploidity haploid है, तो जब zygote बनाएगा, zygote तो fuse करके बना रहे हैं ना, तो उसकी ploidity क्या होगी? n plus n क्या होता है? 2n होता है ना. So 2n would be the ploidity of the zygote. So the ploidity of the zygote will be diploid. Okay. And sin के भी मैंने बता दिया आप लोगों को क्या होता है. That is nothing but the fertilization. Okay. अगर अब बात करते हैं fertilization तो हो गया, पर fertilization कुछ animals अंदर करते हैं body के, मतलब inside the female bodies, और कुछ animals outside the female bodies. अगर मैं बात करूंगी rotifers, honeybees, and even the lizards and the bird. So where they do their fertilization. So they are specifically divided the two things, like the internal fertilization and the external fertilization. Fertilization takes place inside the body is called internal fertilization, and the fertilization takes place outside the body is called the external fertilization. Here, if you are able to see the example of the external fertilization is the algae and the fishes. They do their fertilization outside the body, means what? They releases their eggs, and that egg give rise to the new individual. The next, the other thing is the external fertilization. What happens in the external fertilization is that fertilization in that what happens, like male gamete releases their sperm and the female gamete releases their ova. Fusion takes place, and ultimately after some time it gives rise to young ones. And the medium for their fertilization is the water. Also, I told about the internal fertilization, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm. And also, if I'm talking about the animals, then animals, reptiles, mammals, birds, in that internal fertilization take place, means they give rise to okay, here is one example, bird. Can anybody obviously a question rises in your mind that how bird do internal fertilization. Internal fertilization means fertilization internally. Fertilization internally means fusion, male and female gamete का take place inside the body. Formation, giving rise to the baby or formation of the baby can take place anywhere. But here I am talking specifically of the term fertilization. So fertilization matters where it takes place. If it takes place inside the body, known as internal fertilization. If it takes place outside the body, it is called external fertilization. So birds may also fusion take place inside the body. After that, the bird lay the egg, and that lay, after it gives the sufficient heat to that egg, it hatches and gives rise to new individual or the new baby. So only this much you have to keep in mind. The next, ये हो गया हमारा fertilization का thing. The last topic is the post fertilization event. The post fertilization event, in that we comfortably come up with. We know that after formation of zygote, what happens? After formation of zygote, it converted into embryo, and embryo converted into fetus. So formation of embryo is known as embryogenesis. Okay, so how this zygote convert into embryo? Zygote is a diploid. It differentiate, it divide mitotically to form 2 cells, then form 4 cell, then form 8, then 16. Okay, so accordingly it forms 16 ke baad 32, it will form number of cells, and these cells give rise to each part of the organ. Some cells form legs, some form hand, some form head, some form eyes, nose. So it categorizes the formation of different body parts. Generally, if I am talking about the embryogenesis में mitotically division होता है, mitotically cell division होता है zygote का, and zygote का division जब हो जाता है, so आप लोगों को इधर मेंशन नहीं किया बट मैं आप लोगों को बता देती हूँ, जब zygote डिवाइड होता है तो डिवीजन के बाद जब सफिशिएंट सेल्स बन जाते हैं ना, तो वो एम्ब्रियो में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. नाउ दैट स्टेज इज कॉल्ड द एम्ब्रियो, and the formation from zygote to the embryo is called the embryogenesis, because here formation of embryo take place. Now what happens is that these cells are categorized and the thing formed is called the blastocyst. Blastocyst, because there are many cells na, and each cell is called the blastomere. So these cells grows, eventually they grows. Once they attain the 32 celled stage, it is called morula stage. What we called it called the morula stage. And now the cell is enough capable, it slowly come down to the uterus. If I'm talking of mammals, so once it came to the uterus, now it is heavy and it has to fix its position in the uterus. So in uterus, it stick to some wall, either of the and specifically endometrium wall. It stick to that and slowly it undergo its further growth. And once it undergo its growth, so slowly what happens is that it thicken its covering, so that to provide the protection to the developing embryo into the fetus. Now that cells has a very important function and the ability, that those cells are the stem cell. And guys, this function of stem cell is to give rise to new organ, and now these stem cells will form particularly heart, brain, lungs, eyes, nose respectively. And once they form, after 5th month, you observe that a baby is totally formed. Slowly eyelashes के eyelets बनना, eyebrows बनना, ये सब 5 months के बाद शुरू हो जाता है बनना. And after 5 months, the baby start movement in the mother. And after 9 months, it completely formed, and now it is the time when it has to come out of the body. That stage is called the parturition, that you'll study comfortably in the chapter reproduction. Okay, there are 2 types of animal. Okay, one who lays egg, or through that egg it gives to birth to the young ones, and the other is the one who directly give birth to the young ones. So those who give birth to their offsprings through eggs, then it is called the oviparous. Okay, and if they give birth directly to the young one, then it is called the viviparous. So oviparous में क्या होता है कि generally the fertilized egg is covered with the cartilaginous shell. If you have seen the egg of any of the bird, then you'll be comfortably understood the meaning of the cartilaginous shell. Matlab that shell is made up of calcium, so as to protect that egg from the external environment for the period of the incubation. And once it get incubated, the young is hatched out. So viviparous may directly give birth to the baby, and means that young one is delivered out. So here what happens now, if I'm talking about the survivability, who survive more, who is more safer, will a oviparous animal is more safer or a viviparous animal is more safer? So they mention that like viviparous animal is more safer because that offspring get proper embryonic care, protection, and the survivability of that young one is greater. If I'm talking about viviparous organism. अभी जो चैप्टर कर रहे हैं उसमें आपने देखा होगा, मैंने बताया भी आपको लास्ट लेक्चर में कि जाइगोट किस में कन्वर्ट होता है?
एम्ब्रियो।
हाँ जी, एम्ब्रियो में कन्वर्ट होता है। ओव्यूल किस में कन्वर्ट होता है? सीड में। ओवरी किस में कन्वर्ट होती है? फ्रूट में। और फ्रूट के अराउंड जो बहुत थिक वॉल होती है उसको हम बोलते हैं पेरिकार्प, एंड उस पेरिकार्प का काम क्या होता है? प्रोटेक्शन का काम होता है। ओके, दैट्स ऑल फॉर द चैप्टर। ये फर्स्ट चैप्टर इजी था, तो हार्डली 1 आवर में कंप्लीट होने वाला था, बट मेरे नॉलेज में आया कि ये चैप्टर पढ़ाया ही नहीं है, सो आई थॉट कि those who are giving the meaning तो उनका ये नहीं टॉपिक जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज कुछ टर्म्स होते हैं जो नहीं समझ में आते हैं। तो आप लोगों को क्या करना है कि एक सिंगल रीडिंग इन अ फेज के लिए जस्ट आपको टर्म्स को रिवाइज करना, और इसमें बहुत से टर्म ऐसे हैं जो पहले पढ़े हुए हैं, तो ज्यादा स्ट्रेस वाली बात नहीं है इसमें। तो here we done with this chapter. So any doubt, just unmute yourself and ask. One more thing that I want to mention in this topic is that you need to memorize the examples more specifically. Those who have doubt, please ask. No doubt? Okay, let me ask you a question then. Are you ready? I need responses. No one is there? I can see the message of Athar. He's ready. What about Sonali, Preeti, Pratiksha, Neha, Megha, Anjali, Akansha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's cool. I'll ask the question only related to this. What is mean by monoecious?
Plant having two sexes is in the single plant.
Pardon, please, Anjali, I can't hear it.
Ma'am, bisexual plant.
Bisexual plant. Okay, what is the example of monoecious plant?
Hibiscus.
Okay. See, we can see multiple example of one thing. Okay. अगर मैं देखूं तो अगर मैं मोनोशियस की बात करूं, डायोशियस की बात करूं, देयर आर thousands of examples. ठीक है, but NCERT but NEET wale not going to ask you the examples outside the book. That's why they mention the syllabus, na. Otherwise, if you see, then there is no foundation for biology. There are so many topics, so many examples of one thing. So why I asked this question? Because if I said this that the examples of this topic is important, means you have to remember these examples most importantly. I'm not saying that you don't remember the other examples. That's very nice that you remember you're having the examples of other examples of the same thing, but the NCERT example should be there in your mind. Understood, Anjali?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now here as I thought I give every day, I'll boost you every day. So here one thought is written that stay focused and never give up. Means what? Every day like abhi now corona condition is going on, so everyone, like 1 year has gone and we are still at home, so we also don't like to be at home. But now this is so severe condition that we not even go and not even move freely. So now what you have to, guys, you have to make up your mind is such a that you should focus towards your studies, and this is your 12th, and after 12th means in the coming year, 2022, you'll be going to give, most of the students will be going to give the um, NEET exam. So guys, this is the goal. Don't take it in a negative way, take it in a positive way. Utilize the time and try to grab the most of good things of it. Take care of yourself and your family the most. Don't neglect the precautions, and as it is said that precaution is better than cure. So like it is spreading so much invasively spontaneously that the very brutally people are died, so dying. That's why take care of yourself. And for the medical students, I especially want to say that it is the time where you are building yourself for the future, because a patience plays a very important role in everybody's life, but specifically in uh, specifically if I'm talking about a doctor, then it has to keep a lots of patience. So here you guys need to keep patience to everyone. This line I'm telling to everyone, keep patience, and start studying. You may feel bored, you feel like what to do every day, we have to be at a one place, we have to do the same thing every day, but try to focus, try to observe the positive thing of it. Are you getting my point? Yes. Megha, Neha, Pratiksha, Preeti, Sonali, Atharvanjali, Akanksha, are you getting
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Yes,
Got
ma'am.
it.
Okay. Hope you all are fine. Is there any doubt in this chapter, or we'll go ahead? I need response. Acha, tell me the example of rhizome. Tell me the example of rhizome. It's a vegetative propagation. It's a type of a vegetative propagation.
Ginger.
Ginger, right. Okay, means I feel that you understood this chapter. So we'll do one thing. We'll move to the our chapter. We'll continue our chapter, that is sexual reproduction in the flowering plant. Okay, shall we proceed? Shall we proceed, or you need break? Guys, shall we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Okay. लास्ट टॉपिक में हम लोगों ने क्या क्या पढ़ा था? Someone tell me. In last topic, what we studied? In last topic, what we studied? कोई तो बताओ. I'm talking about sexual reproduction flowering plant. Is my screen is visible?
Fertilization. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, what we studied
Pre-fertilization
in,
structure and events. And
okay, we studied about fertilization structures. We talk about two different, we talk about female part and the male part, right? Okay, I'll call the name and they will tell me. Okay. Anjali will tell me about the male part of a flower, that is microendoecium, and different parts of it. Start with Anjali. Unmute yourself and tell me. Anjali. Okay. Atharv, are you there in the last lecture? Atharv,
Yes, ma'am.
so tell me about the stamen. What is stamen? What are different parts of it?
Sir, ma'am, stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower, and it has two parts: filament and anther. Anther is bilobed. It has two sections, and it contains pollen grain.
Bilobed. Stamen में the upper part is called what?
Anther,
And the lower part?
filament.
Okay. Upper part is called anther, lower part is a filament. So I am asking about stamen, and you said it is bilobed. Great. So you are talking about anther, the upper part of it. It is bilobed. Okay. Okay. What is called as a stamen, pollen sac, and pollen grain in biological term? Megha. Megha,
Yes, ma'am.
what we called as stamen, pollen sac, or pollen grain?
Ma'am, actually, I was absent in the last class.
Okay.
And pollen grain is called as microspore.
Pollen grain is called microspore. What we called as a stamen? Anjali, you tell. Stamen is called microsporophyll. And pollen sac, if I'm talking about pollen sac, then it is singular term, it is called sporangium. If I am talking about sacs, if I add s, now it becomes the plural term, and that plural term is called the microsporangia. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So then, see, why I am revising this thing, because ultimately we are having one lecture in our week, and you should not forget what we studied in the last lecture. So whenever you come for my lecture now, you just go through the things I have given to you and get it revised and then come. So that I have a habit that I used to revise the things that I taught you in the earlier lecture, and after that we proceed forward. Am I clear?
Yes.
Then next we talked about, as Atharv also said, that that if I am talking about the microsporangia, microsporophylls. So in microsporophylls, the upper part is called the anther, and anther may there are two pollen. There are if I'm talking about it, then it is bilobe. Bilobe means it has two lobes. Two lobes, and each lobe has two thicca. Two chambers are there in each lobe. So if I'm talking about the two lobes, then means four chambers are there, and it is called the dithecus. The tetrathecus bolenge, four are there. Okay, that's why anther ki structure, it is four-sided. That's why we call it as a tetragonal in structure. I'll quickly revise, and if you feel any doubt in that topic, just point me there only, so that I'll quickly revise and we'll move to the next topic. Then we talked about pole and sex. As I told, like in each anther there are four chambers, and in each chambers there is one pole and sex. So if there are four chambers, means four microsporangia, right? So a microsporangia ultimately will become pollen sac. When we call it as a pollen sac, means it is filled with the microspores. So if I'm talking about, particularly if I'm talking about one pollen sac, then it consists, structure की बात की जाए तो it has differentiated into four wall layers. What are those? फटाफट से मुझे बताओ. प्रीति, सोनाली, प्रतीक्षा, मेघा, अंजलि, anyone, आकांक्षा, कोई भी बता दो, फटाफट बताओ, चलो. Anyone? What are four layers of microsporangium? I'll help you. Just start.
Ma'am, epidermis,
Yes.
endothelium,
Yes.
tapetum, and
Now the four layers, out of them the function of three, if I'm talking about epidermis, endothelium, and the middle layer. So for their function is nothing but protection of the microspore that is developing and will be found inside the microsporangium. So, and what is the function of tapetum over here? Tapetum is a multinucleated having dense cytoplasm, and what's its function? That will provide the nutrient and the nourishment to the developing pollen grain. Agree? Now, I told you also what is microsporogenesis. We talked about microsporogenesis, and microsporogenesis is nothing but the formation of microspores. Through which process? Anybody? Through which process microspores are formed? Mitotically or meiotically?
Meiotically.
Okay. Did you all wrote the notes I given last session? Or just let me know. If not, just let me know. आप लोगों ने नहीं लिखा था ना लास्ट टाइम, मैंने आप लोगों को पॉइंट्स मेंशन किए थे. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Ma'am, written.
Written. So okay. Meiosis. So who had given me the reply now? Just please tell me.
Ma'am, Sonali.
Okay, Sonali, can you please define it in English so that we'll get a proper definition for that? Yes, Sonali. What is microsporogenesis?
Ma'am, it is the formation of microspores from a pollen mother cell through meiosis.
Very good. That is called the microsporogenesis. So आप लोगों ने comfortably पढ़ लिया है what is ploidity about the gametes and the zygote. Agree? Okay. Now also we come across through one sentence like there are sporogenic cells, and those cells grows and they differentiate and differentiate and forms pollen mother cells. Understood? And after pollen mother cells, that pollen mother cells undergo meiosis. These all things I'm revising, guys. So just focus on this point if you did not focus on this term earlier, so that it become the new thing for you, and those who know it will be the revising thing for them. So I told you that sporogenous tissues undergo differentiation to form polar mother cell, and polar mother cell undergo meiosis to form microspore tetrad. Why I'm calling it as a tetrad? Because each polar mother cell undergo meiosis to form 4 microspores, and these microspores has to go out. It has to go for somewhere for fusion. So similarly, that microspore tetrad individually can't go now, it has to burst up. So what happens exactly is, after formation of microspore tetrad from the polar mother cell, it undergo dehydration. Now what dehydration means? Dehydration means removal of water. Okay, and once the water is removed, it gets detached from that pollen that sac, and it one individual as a microspore. ठीक है, उसके बाद मैंने आप लोगों से क्वेश्चन पूछा था that how many, see, such type of questions will come across in your exams, also in your if you go through and you'll observe so many questions or arises from that. So if I'm talking about number of pollen mother cell, number of microspore, number of tetrads, so number of basically they'll ask questions based on pollen mother cell, microspore, tetrad, and microspore. So guys, specifically you need to keep in your mind that pollen mother cell give rise to microspore tetrad. If they mention the term microspore tetrad, means there would be one microspore tetrad having 4 pollen grains inside it. If I'm talking about a microspore, so microspore will be the 4. From one microspore tetrad undergo dehydration, it forms 4 microspore. So please keep in your mind. And microspore is ultimately nothing but the pollen grain, na? And pollen grain is what? It's haploid only. Okay? The next thing we discussed about pollen grain, we discussed about the good facts and the bad facts of the pollen grain. We talked about the pollen grain outer part, that is called the exine, and the inner part is called the intine. Outer part is made up of what? Called sporopollenin, and sporopollenin is the hardest thing known, and that's why it can be used as the sporopollen, used as fossils. It can kept for thousands of years. Okay, this is present in the seed bank, like blood is deposited or present in the blood bank. Accordingly, like to that only, if we store seeds in a place, that is called the seed bank, and the process of storing it called the cryopreservation. This thing also discussed in the last session. Also, if I'm talking about the intine, so guys, here you have to keep in your mind 2 things. The hard covering made up of what? The inner covering made of what? Inner covering made up of cellulose and pectin. Hard covering made up of sporopollenin. ठीक है, उसके बाद हम लोगों ने बात की थी, जो पोलन ग्रेन होता है ना, वो मेच्योरिटी अटेन करने के बाद it has 2 phases, like vegetative phase and generative phase. तो vegetative phase में क्या होता है? That is bigger cell. 2 cells are there in a pollen grain, that is the vegetative cell and the generative cell. Vegetative cell is a bigger in size as compared to generative cell. If I'm talking about bigger in cell, means what? It means it is big in size, it has more cytoplasm, it has more food reserve. Okay, but what differ in this is the size of a nucleus is irregular if I'm talking about the vegetative cell. In that way, if I'm talking about generative cell, in generative cell, what happens is nucleus ka size is comfortable. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, thank you. So here you also keep in mind that generative cell is a small sized and vegetative cell is the bigger in size. So generative cells floats in vegetative cells. Now, if I see the 60% of the angiosperm contain two-celled stage. Two-celled stage means vegetative cell and the generative cell. So देखो पोलन ग्रेन ऑल्सो अटेन मेच्योरिटी, और मेच्योर होने के बाद ही वो पोलन ग्रेन शेड होता है. तो वो शेड होता है तो वो कौन से स्टेज पे होता है? तो 60% जो एंजियोस्पर्म्स होते हैं उनमें वो शेड होता है टू सेल्ड स्टेज पे. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Then next is economic importance of the pollen grain. We discussed about the good and bad effects. So let's discuss about it. हम लोगों ने लास्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस किया था, अगर पोलन ग्रेन के गुड इफेक्ट्स की बात करें तो पोलन ग्रेन पोलन टेबलेट्स भी यूज होती है. एथलीट्स और द हॉर्सेस को पोलन टेबलेट्स कंज्यूम करवाई जाती है बिकॉज इट गिव्स इंस्टेंट एनर्जी. ऑल्सो इट कैन बी यूज्ड as in the form of supplements. ठीक है. The next thing is पोलन ग्रेन के बैड इफेक्ट्स. पोलन ग्रेन के बैड इफेक्ट्स क्या होते हैं? लाइक इट causes many breathing problems, allergic. Some have allergy of pollen grains, like bronchitis, asthma. These are some type of disease that can be caused by this pollen grain. Also, we discussed about here. We only discuss about these things. Pollen grain होने के बाद we discussed about the megasporogenesis. Now, quickly tell me what is carpel and what is pistil. Tell me what we call carpel और pistil को हम क्या बोलते हैं और ओव्यूल को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Quickly बताओ. Quickly बताओ. Anyone? Anjali, Atharva, Megha, Pratiksha, Preeti, Sonali, Aksha. What we call the ovule or pistil as? What we call ovule and what we call pistil as? Quickly बताओ so that मैं आगे भी पढ़ूं. जल्दी जल्दी बताओ. It's a revision. रिवाइज नहीं किया ना टॉपिक्स को. प्रीति, सोनाली, प्रतीक्षा, मेघा, अथर्वा, अंजलि, आकांक्षा. ओव्यूल को क्या बोलते हैं? अच्छा एक बात बताओ, वहां पे पोलन ग्रेन को क्या बोल रहे थे?
Microspore.
माइक्रोस्पोर बोल रहे. अच्छा टेल मी वन थिंग. Am I audible to everyone clearly? Am I audible to everyone clearly? Please
Yes,
give me.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we are saying microspore as pollen grain in the microsporogenesis. So what I will call ovule here then? Megaspore, no?
Megaspore.
If I say ovule as a spore, then what will I call as the carpel and pistil? अच्छा एक बात बताओ मुझे, ओव्यूल के अंदर क्या बनता है? नहीं पता. देखो मे बी आप लोगों को कंफ्यूजन होगा तो मैं क्लियर करती हूँ. 3 टर्म होते हैं. जैसे हम लोगों ने are you be comfortable if I compare the megasporogenesis or microsporogenesis? Will it be fine?
मैम
Yes.
मैम अपने स्क्रीन पे पॉलिनेशन की स्लाइड खोलिए ना.
I know I opened the pollination की slide, but I am revising the topic that we had studied in the earlier lecture.
मैम थोड़ा नोट्स दिखाएंगे तो मैम इजी होता है मैम रिवाइज करने की.
What happens in the last lecture is that I taught through the book. So I didn't made the notes of that. I directly made the notes starting from the pollination only. So if you are not cleared with that, just let me know. I'll explain you that thing first. So shall I start with the megasporogenesis? And if you guys need the notes of it now, so we'll having the lecture from 3 to 5 as well. So that time I'll provide you the notes of microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis respectively. So now here I'll explain you orally. If you're come across any doubt, just unmute yourself and let me know. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes.
everybody, shall I start with the megasporogenesis?
Yes,
And-
ma'am.
Okay. So I think let's begin with the megasporogenesis. What happens? See, what I planned for today is that we'll finish this chapter, and after finishing this chapter, I'll be quickly moving to the next chapter, that is the that is the reproduction in humans. Okay, we'll do that. That is the other thing. What matters right now is that you should understand what I'm teaching you. So let's begin with the megasporogenesis. See, there are three terms. First, carpel. Carpel is also called the pistil. Then next is the ovule. Just mind my words, okay, what I am trying to say. So first is carpel or pistil. Dekho, what are the terminologies I'm using here? It is directly from your books and they are going to ask question directly from here only. So carpel and pistil is called the megasporophylls. What we called it as megasporophylls. The next is the ovule. Ovule is called the megasporogenium. Megasporogenium. So here if I'm talking about the microsporogenesis, then we said pollen sac as the microsporogenium. Microsporogenium. Agreed. The next thing, if I'm talking about ovule, like we are focusing on megasporogenesis, here ovule means megasporangium. We talk देखो जहाँ पे मेल पार्ट को एंडोशियम बोला जाता है मेल के केस में, वही फीमेल के केस में फीमेल पार्ट को गाइनोशियम बोलते हैं. एग्रीड. नेक्स्ट थिंग, अगर गाइनोशियम में एक पिस्टल होगा तो I'll call it as a monocarpellary. Mono means one carpel, means monocarpellary. If there are more than one carpel, then I'll call it as a multicarpellary. Then अगर वो carpels fused है, then I'll call it as a syncarpus. अगर वो carpel free है, and then I'll call it as apocarpus. Then next मैंने बोला था अगर जो एक carpel होता है ना, it consists of three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. The upper part is called the stigma, middle is called the style, and the bottom part is called the ovary. I also told that in the very first lecture that ovary lies or sits above something, and the below part is called the thalamus. Above the thalamus is the ovary. Now the position of ovary varies. ठीक है. The next, मैंने एक और चीज बताई थी कि ओवरी के अंदर जो खाली जगह होती है ना, उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं ओवेरियन कैविटी. कैविटी का मतलब स्पेस होता है. सो उस स्पेस को मैं क्या बोलूंगी? ओवेरियन कैविटी या लॉक्यूल बोला जाता है. ठीक है. ऑल्सो क्या होता है कि उस कैविटी के अंदर जो एरिया होगा, ओव्यूल के अंदर जो ओवरी के अंदर जो एरिया, उसको मैं ओवेरियन कैविटी बोल रही हूँ या लॉक्यूल बोल रही हूँ. ठीक है. उस कैविटी के अंदर जो स्पेस है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द प्लेसेंटा. प्लेसेंटा होता है. देन नेक्स्ट आता है जैसे ये मेगास्पोरेंजिया. देखो जैसे हम लोगों ने वहां पे पोलन ग्रेन में बोला था कि पोलन सैक में हम लोगों ने बोला था कि अगर एक हुआ तो माइक्रोस्पोरेंजियम बोलेंगे, अगर एक से ज्यादा हुआ तो माइक्रोस्पोरेंजिया बोलेंगे. सेम यहाँ पे ओव्यूल्स के लिए है. ओव्यूल्स इज इक्वल टू पोलन सैक, इतना याद रख लेना. सो वहां पे यहाँ पे ओव्यूल्स के लिए अगर मैं एक ओव्यूल की बात करूंगी तो मेगास्पोरेंजियम बोलूंगी. अगर मैं एक से ज्यादा ओव्यूल्स की बात करूंगी तो मैं उसको बोलूंगी मेगास्पोरेंजिया. Am I clear? Am I clear? I need responses.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The next thing is ओव्यूल्स कितने होंगे? may vary. Ovules may be 1, 2, 3 because ovules ultimately मुझे क्या देता है? मैंने बताया था ना, ओव्यूल्स किसमें डेवलप होता है, ओवरी किसमें डेवलप होती है, किसमें? अथर आंसर.
मैम सीड.
Very good. So ovules develop into seed, ovary develops into fruit and zygote develops into embryo. ये तीनों चीजें ध्यान में रख लो, आगे का कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएगा. तो अभी मुझे बताओ, आप लोगों ने एप्पल खाया है, आप लोगों ने नींबू का पानी पीते रहते हो तो नींबू पता होगा आप लोगों को. सो चीकू खाया है. इन सब में आप लोगों ने देखा होगा नंबर ऑफ सीड्स वेरी करते हैं, किसी में 2, किसी में 4. तो number of seeds will tell me the number of ovules. Clear? The next thing is the next thing is now will हम लोगों को समझ में आ गया कि फ्यूज्ड पिस्टल हुआ तो क्या होता है, फ्री पिस्टल हुआ तो क्या होता है, एक पिस्टल हुआ तो क्या बोलते हैं, एक से ज्यादा हुआ तो क्या बोलते हैं. क्लियर? Now next thing is here I'm talking about the मेगास्पोरोजीनियम. मेगास्पोरोजीनियम मतलब मैं ओव्यूल की बात कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, ओव्यूल की बात कर रही हूँ. तो ओव्यूल के अंदर क्या होता है? In the next lecture I'll discuss about the diagrams only. ठीक है, notes if you guys need, then that also I can share if you guys need. Otherwise I'll start with the pollination only. I'm just okay. So ovules में क्या होता है कि ovules के अंदर मैंने बोला था कि स्मॉल स्ट्रक्चर अटैच्ड होता है. ठीक है, किससे अटैच्ड होगा? ओव्यूल जो है ओवरी के अंदर प्रेजेंट होता है. ठीक है, तो जो ओव्यूल होता है उससे एक स्मॉल स्ट्रक्चर अटैच्ड होता है. ओवरी के अंदर प्लेसेंटा होता है, तो वो प्लेसेंटा ओव्यूल से अटैच्ड होता है. ठीक है, अब ये अटैच जिस भी स्टाल से होगा, जिस भी वे से होगा, जिस भी थिंग से होगा, उसको बोलते हैं हम फ्यूनिकल. क्या बोलते हैं? फ्यूनिकल. देन नेक्स्ट थिंग इज जो फ्यूनिकल की रीजन होता है और ओव्यूल का रीजन होता है, वो एक जगह पे फ्यूज्ड हो जाता है. अभी उस फ्यूज्ड रीजन को हम लोग बोलते हैं हाइलम. ठीक है, क्या बोलते हैं? हाइलम बोलते हैं. अब इतना याद रखना कि ओव्यूल के पास एक से ज्यादा प्रोटेक्टिव एनवेलप्स होते हैं. एक से ज्यादा प्रोटेक्टिव एनवेलप्स होते हैं. तो व्हाट वी कॉल दैट एनवेलप्स एज? वी कॉल दैट एनवेलप्स एज इंट्यूगमेंट. व्हाट वी कॉल्ड इट एज? इंट्यूगमेंट्स. नेक्स्ट थिंग, इंट्यूगमेंट्स जो होते हैं वो पूरी तरह से कवर होते हैं एक्सेप्ट एक ओपनिंग होती है. उस ओपनिंग को, एंड दैट ओपनिंग इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द टॉप, दैट इज कॉल्ड माइक्रोपाइल. माइक्रोपाइल के जो ऑपोजिट, देखो मैंने बोला ओव्यूल का जो पूरा पार्ट होता है वो क्लोज होता है, एक पार्ट ओपन होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द माइक्रोपाइल, एंड दैट पार्ट प्रेजेंट ऑन द टॉप ऑफ दैट ओव्यूल. So the top part is called the micropyle. So what we call the part present at the bottom that is covered, that bottom part is called the chalazal part. ठीक है, and the chalazal part is also called the basal part of the ovule. ठीक है, तो याद रखना ovule के अंदर I am talking about the central part of the ovule, and it carries mass of tissues, and that mass of tissues is called the nucellus. There are two terms, nucleus and nucellus. Nucleus की spelling क्या होती है? Nucleus. Nucleus. Here I am talking about nucellus, means Nucellus. Nucellus is different and nucleus is different. तो ovule के अंदर there is mass of tissues, उसको बोलते हैं nucellus. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. मेगास्पोरोजेनेसिस. मेगास्पोरोजेनेसिस का मतलब होता है फॉर्मेशन ऑफ मेगास्पोर फ्रॉम मेगास्पोर मदर्स सेल, उसको बोलते हैं मेगास्पोरोजेनेसिस, एंड दिस आल्सो बाय द मियोसिस. ठीक है, अभी याद रखना जैसे कि ओव्यूल के सेंटर में क्या है? मास ऑफ टिश्यू, जिसको बोलते हैं न्यूसेलस. न्यूसेलस क्या करता है? न्यूसेलस में बहुत सारे टिश्यूज है, तो वो टिश्यूज क्या करते हैं? टिश्यूज इज व्हाट? एग्रीगेशन ऑफ सेल्स ओनली. तो अभी वहां पे जो टिश्यूज है वो लोग बहुत सारे हैं, सो उनका काम वहां पे तब तक के लिए क्या है पता है, उनके पास बहुत सारा फूड रिजर्व मटेरियल, सो आउटसाइड जो भी लेयर फॉर्मेशन हो रही है उनको वो नरिशमेंट वगैरह प्रोवाइड करने का काम होता है। ऑल्सो जो न्यूसेलस का भी ध्यान से सुनना, न्यूसेलस का जो बॉटम में पार्ट होता है ना, सॉरी टॉप पे जो पार्ट होता है दैट इज माइक्रोपिलार एंड। माइक्रोपिलार एंड पे जो टिश्यूज प्रेजेंट है they undergo differentiation and they form microspore mother cell, and microspore mother cell is diploid in nature. Then जो microspore mother cell है it has a prominent nucleus, it has a very good nucleus. So microspore mother cell क्या करती है, it undergo meiosis and it undergo meiotic division, means meiosis, and it forms the 4 haploid megaspore. कितने मेगास्पोर बनाएगी, 4 मेगास्पोर बनाएगी, उसमें से 3 मेगास्पोर क्या हो जाते हैं, डीजेनरेट हो जाते हैं और 1 मेगास्पोर बच जाता है, और उसी को उन्होंने बोला फंक्शनल मेगास्पोर आर द फीमेल गेमेटोफाइट। अभी वो फीमेल गेमेटोफाइट किस को क्या बोलते हैं, एम्ब्रियो सैक बोलते हैं। अभी एम्ब्रियो सैक क्या होती है, देखो पता है एम्ब्रियो सैक जो है कि डेवलपमेंट जो हो रही है वो सिंगल मेगास्पोर से हो रही है, इसीलिए उसको हम बोलते हैं मोनोस्पोरिक टाइप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट। ठीक है, अभी देखो जो न्यूक्लियस में बात करें न्यूक्लियस की, तो न्यूक्लियस जो होगा मेगास्पोर का वो माइटोसिस करेगा, और माइटोसिस करके क्या बनाता है, 2 न्यूक्लियाई बनाता है, 2 से 4 न्यूक्लियाई, 4 से 8 न्यूक्लियाई। सो यहाँ पे जो न्यूक्लियाई उसमें से 8 न्यूक्लियाई जो होते हैं, सो माइटोटिक डिवीजन होने से 4 न्यूक्लियस देन 8 न्यूक्लियस बनाएगा। तो 8 न्यूक्लियस बनाने से क्या हो जाता है, वो उनमें से जो 6 न्यूक्लियाई जो होते हैं उसके अराउंड क्या बन जाता है, सेल वॉल बन जाता है, और सेल वॉल बनने के कारण वो 6 जो है वो एक न्यू सेल की तरफ परफॉर्म करते हैं। कि अभी मुझे बताओ कितने न्यूक्लियाई थे, टेल मी फास्ट, कितने न्यूक्लियाई थे, कितने न्यूक्लियाई थे, आकांक्षा, अंजलि, मैंने क्या बोला अभी, मेगास्पोर जो है, जो एम्ब्रियो सैक है वो कितने न्यूक्लियाई बनाता है, 2 न्यूक्लियाई बनाता है, माइटोटिकली डिवाइड हो रहा है ना, माइटोटिकली डिवाइड हो रहा है तो 2 न्यूक्लियाई बनाएगा, 4 न्यूक्लियाई बनाएगा, 8 न्यूक्लियाई बनाएगा। तो 8 न्यूक्लियाई में से 2 न्यूक्लियाई जो है वो सेल वॉल, उसके उन न्यूक्लियाई के अराउंड सेल वॉल फॉर्म हो जाता है, दे ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इनटू सेल्स। ठीक है, नाउ ट्राई टू फोकस, जो 3 सेल है वो जैसे 6 सेल्स हो गए ना अभी, क्योंकि 6 न्यूक्लियाई के अराउंड सेल वॉल फॉर्म हुई तो वो 6 सेल्स बन जाएंगे। ठीक है, अभी 2 न्यूक्लियाई मेरे ऐसे ही बचे हुए हैं, तो वो जो 6 सेल्स है उसमें से वो 3 सेल्स जो है वो माइक्रोपिलार एंड की तरफ जाएंगे और वहां पर वो एग एपैरेटस बना लेंगे। देन नेक्स्ट जो एग एपैरेटस बनाने के बाद उन एग एपैरेटस में 2 जो होंगे सेल उनको सिनर्जिड्स बोलेंगे और एक को एग सेल बोलेंगे। अभी सिनर्जिड्स के पास फुल्ली फॉर्म एपैरेटस होता है। फुल्ली फॉर्म का मतलब क्या होगा कि वहां पे एमीबा की तरह शेप का स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म होता है वो सिनर्जिड्स के ऊपर, तो उसको हम फुल्ली फॉर्म एपैरेटस बोलते हैं। उनका फंक्शन क्या होता है, उनका फंक्शन होता है कि जब पोलन ग्रेन स्टाइल से पास होकर आए तो उनको डायरेक्शन देता है अंदर तक के लिए, सेल तक के लिए। तो its important role is nothing but to guiding the pollen grain into the synergids. Now 3 सेल्स तो माइक्रोपिलार एंड के पास चलेंगे, अब 3 सेल किसके पास चले जाएंगे, चलेंसल एंड की तरफ, मतलब एट द बॉटम। सो 3 सेल जो है उनमें से 2 सेल्स इज कॉल्ड द एंटीपोडल सेल्स। जो 3 सेल्स होंगे उनमें से जो लास्ट होगा उसके उनको एंटीपोडल सेल बोलेंगे। अब ये हो गए 6 सेल्स मतलब 6 न्यूक्लियस, बट 2 न्यूक्लियस एज इट इज बचे हुए थे। दैट 2 न्यूक्लियस विल नाउ कॉल्ड एज पोलर न्यूक्लिया। ठीक है, सो अभी मुझे बताओ जो एम्ब्रियो सैक है, इट इज 8 न्यूक्लिएटेड 7 सेल। हाउ इट इज 8 न्यूक्लिएटेड 7 सेल? Anybody? First of all, am I clear? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me one thing. How it is 8 nucleate 7 celled? Answer. Anjali. Am I clear? Tell me this one. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me how it is 8 nucleated 7 cell. 8 nucleated 7 cell कैसे हुआ? अथर
Yes, ma'am.
how it is 8 nucleated 7 cell? If you're not getting, just let me know. I'll repeat it again. Please don't mute. If you're getting, then let me know. Otherwise, tell me how it is 8 celled, 8 nucleated 7 cell. Sonali, Preeti, Pratiksha, Megha, Tharpanjali.
Ma'am, the two nucleus in the center form a single cell.
Right. और आगे जो ऊपर बनाए हैं that is 3 cells and 3 cells. Agreed? और बीच में जो 2 polar nuclei बचे हैं that fuses to form 1 nuclei. So ऊपर के 3 nuclei नीचे के 3 nuclei will be what? See, ऊपर के 3 cells नीचे के 3 cells बीच का एक सेल कितने हुए cells? 7 cells. 8 nucleated कैसे हुआ? 8 nucleated ऐसे हुआ because वहाँ पे 8 nucleus present है ना? Agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Next thing is the next topic is pollination. Pollination में हम लोगों ने बोला था transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. Whether it either be on same plant or different plant is called the pollination. Pollination may we discussed about the two things that if we discussed about some of the terms like what is complete flower, what is staminate flower, what is pistillate flower, that I already discussed, so I'll not be discussing now. So this is all what we studied in the last lecture. Now we'll move with this pollination wala topic. In this topic, as I told you about, depending upon the source of pollen grains, pollination it can be divided into 2 types. So can be divided into 3 types. 3 types में autogamy, heteronogamy, and xenogamy. We discussed about this in the last lecture as well. So I'll quickly go through this topic and we'll go ahead. So in autogamy, what happens is pollination is achieved within the same flower. Means what happened, either that male and female reproductive part present within the same flower or of different flower. So since we are talking about the autogamy, auto means same flower, means here both male and female reproductive part present within the same flower. So that's why the flower is called as the bisexual flower. So here they have given the proper definition like transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the same flower. Generally, if we see, then what happens is generally they know when the pollen releases and when that stigma receive the receptivity. Then here you should keep in mind that obviously if they are in the same flower, means self pollination occur. One more thing you need to keep in mind is the example that is Volvia and the Volvia oxalis and the Commelina are the examples. Then under the autogamy, there are 2 types of flowers, that is the clistogam chesmogamous flower and the clistogamous flower. If I'm talking about the chesmogamous flower, flower means these are such flowers that are present basically at the tip of the root. These flowers do not open at all. If they are not open at all means there is no chance for the cross pollination. Both the stamen and the pistil are exposed, not exposed to all, means it is not exposed to surrounding. It is closed, so comfortably self-pollination took place. The next is the chesmogamous flower. Chesmogamous flower में क्या होता है कि they assured seed set even in the absence of pollinator. They do not require pollinator for the dispersal of the pollen grain. The next topic is the geitonogamy. What happens in the geitonogamy? Yeah, someone says geitonogamy. Pronunciation differ from person to person. So geitonogamy में what happens कि there also pollen transfer of pollen grains happen, but it happens in different flower of the same plant. So see, if I'm talking about the bisexual, some plants देखो जिसमें some plants are such जिसमें male and female parts are present, but they present in different flower. So if pollen grain of one flower, a pollen grain from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same plant, then it is called the geitonogamy or the geitonogamy. So geitonogamy अगर functionally देखा जाए, so it is a cross pollination because it is happening in two flowers. So obviously it is cross pollination, but if we see through the genetic point of view, then both will be the same. They will be, here it is only mentioned that it is similar to autogamy since the pollen grain come from the same plant. It is similar to autogamy if we talk through the genetic point of view, because here the genetic material will be the same because it is having the flower on the same plant. The next thing is the xenogamy. xenogamy को allogamy भी बोला जाता है. xenogamy में क्या होता है कि ट्रांसफर होता है पोलन ग्रेन्स का फ्रॉम एंथर टू स्टिग्मा ऑफ डिफरेंट प्लांट. तो यहाँ पे प्लांट डिफरेंट है, वहाँ पे फ्लावर डिफरेंट है गeitonogamy में. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि जनरली अगर मैं जेनेटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखेंगे तो इट विल बी जेनेटिकली डिफरेंट. नाउ this xenogamy brings about different types of pollen grain to the stigma because it come from different plants. Now it is called there are different devices to prevent cross pollination. ठीक है? How can we prevent cross pollination? For that there are some of the devices like flower should be clistogamous, such flower in which they do not open at all, so chances for cross pollination is almost nil. The next thing is the homogamy. Homogamy का मतलब होता है the condition in which anther or stigma mature or at the same time. ठीक है? The next thing is one possibility can be there, like both the stamen and stigma should have the close association. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear? Sonali, Preeti, Pratiksha, Megha, Atharva, Anjali, Akash. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, as once again I'm telling everyone to just keep remember these examples which are very important. If I'm talking about clistogamous flower, Commelina oxalis is the example. If I'm talking about the homogamy, Catharanthus is the example. If I'm talking about the anther and stigma, Mirabilis is the example. Similarly, I'll discuss about these things and after that we'll stop because the other topic is the double fertilization that we need the diagram. I did not put the diagram. I'll put the diagram and get back to you. at the 3 o'clock वाले session में. So guys, quickly we'll go through these topics. Now this is the contravents or the devices for the cross pollination. Means we have to prevent self pollination. How can be self pollination prevented? So self pollination, we should favor cross pollination. We avoid self pollination. To bring cross pollination, unisexuality can be the possibility in what? In that what happens, male and female flower are present on different plants. If I am talking about the dichogamy, this terms you will not come across in your book, but it is important. Questions may arise from this topic. So dichogamy mein what happens in this stigma and stamen of bisexual flower mature at different time. Okay? So they can promote the cross pollination. The next thing is the protoendry. See how to remember the protoendry and the protogyny. If you are able to observe in the protoendry, then here E is the term. E means the androecium and G means the gynoecium. So protoendry means what happens? Maturation of anther will be more earlier as compared to stigma. Protogyny में क्या होगा कि maturation of stigma is earlier than the anther. If I'm talking about the self-sterility and the self-incompatibility, in that what happens? It's a genetic mechanism that prevents the self-pollination. The next is the chesmogamous flower. These are the gametes. These flowers are such that are open flowers in which stamens are exposed and stigma that can facilitate the cross pollination. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
Okay. Is there any who can conclude what we studied today? Is there any who can conclude what we studied today? Is there any who can conclude? Akanksha, Anjali, Atharva Pawar, Megha, Pratiksha, Preeti, Sonali. Still my voice is breaking. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. So tell me, what is studied? Anyone?
Megasporogenesis.
Yes.
Then structure of anther, stamen.
Yes. What else?
Zoospores.
Yes.
Gametogenesis.
Akanksha, Atharva, Megha. Are they there? Atharva, Megha. Anjali. Pratiksha. Sonali.
Yes, ma'am.
What we studied? Okay, then I think we'll stop here. We'll meet by 3. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. And just revise before coming to the lecture. I can't give like so much of time for revising those things because we have to proceed with the syllabus as well. We have to complete the syllabus before time, so that we'll get time for revision as well. So thank you so much. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.